The U.S. election between Donald J. Trump and Kamala Harris is coming up. So here are 60 president and election facts for the 60th U.S. election. Number 1. John Quincy Adams became president without winning the popular vote or the Electoral College. In 1824, Andrew Jackson got 152,000 popular votes to John Quincy Adams' 114,000. Jackson also got 99 electoral votes compared to Adams' 84. But since no one got the required 131 electoral votes to win, the election was decided by the House of Representatives. Adams won 13 out of the 24 state votes, and thus the presidency, despite losing the Electoral College and popular vote, was awarded to him. Number 2. The 1860 election had the biggest height difference between candidates. Abraham Lincoln at 6'4" or 193 centimeters was 30 centimeters or 12 inches taller than his opponent, Stephen A. Douglas, who stood at 5'4" or 163 centimeters. Number 3. In 1876, the candidate who won the popular vote lost. Since the Electoral College votes for the president, sometimes the person who gets more votes actually loses. We already went over the first time this happened in 1824, so the next time it occurred was in 1876 when Democrat Samuel J. Tilden won 4.2 million votes, compared to Republican Rutherford B. Hayes' 4 million. Tilden won 184 electoral votes to Hayes' 165 in the first count, but 20 votes from Florida, Louisiana, South Carolina, and Oregon were disputed. To choose a winner, Congress established the Electoral Commission, which awarded all 20 votes and thus the presidency to Hayes. Number 4. 4 presidents have been assassinated: Abraham Lincoln, James A. Garfield, William McKinley, and John F. Kennedy. Number 5. Only one president was elected without a political party. That, of course, was George Washington, the first president elected between 1789 and 1797, although he did more closely align with the Federalists. Number 6. 6 presidents have been left-handed: Harry S. Truman, Gerald Ford, Ronald Reagan, George H.W. Bush, Bill Clinton, and Barack Obama. Number 7. Only 7th President Andrew Jackson has been a prisoner of war. Number 8. Only one president has been elected to non-consecutive terms. Grover Cleveland served 2 non-consecutive full terms from 1885 to 1889, and again from 1893 to 1897. Number 9. Theodore Roosevelt was the best performing third-party candidate. During the 1912 election, Teddy Roosevelt, as part of the Progressive Party, got second place with 88 electoral votes and 4.1 million popular votes, resulting in 27% of the total popular votes. Number 10. The taller candidate has won 58% of elections between 1789 and 2008. In fact, if you take into account the popular vote, that jumps up to 67%. Number 11. It wasn't until 1951 when the 22nd Amendment made it illegal for a person to run for a third presidential term. Many simply respected George Washington's tradition. Number 12. In 1888, the candidate who won the popular vote lost. Sitting President Grover Cleveland received 5.5 million popular votes against Benjamin Harrison's 5.4, but Harrison won a staggering 233 electoral votes compared to Cleveland's 168. Number 13. Women couldn't vote. It wasn't until 1920 with the 19th Amendment that women could vote. Number 14. 39th President Jimmy Carter became the first president to reach 100 years old. Number 15. 6 presidents were born in October: 2nd President John Adams, 19th President Rutherford B. Hayes, 21st President Chester A. Arthur, 26th President Theodore Roosevelt, 34th President Dwight D. Eisenhower, and 39th President Jimmy Carter. Number 16. The 1960 election had the first televised presidential debate. It was between John F. Kennedy and Richard Nixon. Number 17. The 1876 election had the highest voter turnout at 82.6%. Number 18. 18-year-olds could not vote. The 26th Amendment in 1971 lowered the age of voting from 21 to 18. Number 19. 6 presidents were born in November: 11th President James K. Polk, 12th President Zachary Taylor, 14th President Franklin Pierce, 20th President James A. Garfield, 29th President Warren G. Harding, and 46th President Joe Biden. Number 20. 68% of presidents served in the military. Their service ranks range from private to state militia to general of the army. Number 21. Martin Van Buren's first language was not English. It was actually Dutch, making him the only president whose first language was not English. Number 22. The youngest president ever was Theodore Roosevelt at 42. Number 23. The 1960 election may have been decided by TV. John F. Kennedy appeared tanned and relaxed compared to Nixon, who looked pale and sweaty. Those who listened to the debate on the radio said Nixon came out ahead. To television audiences, however, Kennedy was the winner. Number 24, Joe Biden in 2020 got more votes than anyone else in a single election, with 81 million. Number 25, Virginia has produced more U.S. presidents than any other state, with 8. Number 26, the first president to be born an American citizen was Martin Van Buren, born in 1782. Number 27, JFK was the youngest president to die at 46. Number 28, the median age of a president at their inauguration is 55. Number 29, 4 presidents were born in February. First President George Washington, 9th President William Henry Harrison, 16th President Abraham Lincoln, and 40th President Ronald Reagan. Number 30, the second biggest height difference between two candidates is in this election. Well, it actually ties the second place 1812 election, as Donald Trump and DeWitt Clinton stand at 6'3" or 193 centimeters, which is 11 inches or 27 centimeters taller than their opponent James Madison and Kamala Harris, who stand at 5'4" or 163 centimeters. Number 31, only one person has been elected president without political or military experience. That is, of course, 45th President Donald J. Trump. Number 32, only one president was never married. 15th President James Buchanan. Number 33, George Washington and Ulysses S. Grant both reached the highest military rank, General of the Armies, though it was awarded after their death. Number 34, Harry S. Truman actually does not have a middle name. Truman's middle name is actually the letter S to represent his two grandfathers. Number 35, the 2024 election is the first time since 1980 that a Reagan, Bush, Clinton, or Biden wasn't on the ballot. Number 36, the shortest presidential term was William Henry Harrison, who died after serving a total of 30 days. Number 37, 4 presidents have died of natural causes in office. FDR, Warren G. Harding, Zachary Taylor, and William Henry Harrison. Number 38, the only time the Electoral College tied was in 1800, when Thomas Jefferson and Aaron Burr both got 73 electoral votes. The House of Representatives broke the tie and elected Jefferson. Number 39, 39th President Jimmy Carter was the first president born in a hospital. Number 40, Millard Fillmore, the 13th president between 1850 and 1853, was the last president not to be part of the Democrat or Republican Party. He was actually part of the Whig Party. Number 41, only 12 presidents had no college degree. Number 42, it wasn't until 1856 that Congress removed property ownership as a requirement to vote in elections. Number 43, President Ulysses S. Grant's real name was actually Hiram Ulysses Grant. The middle S name was actually a mistake on his West Point application form. Number 44, in 2000, the candidate who won the popular vote lost. George W. Bush received 50.4 million popular votes compared to Al Gore's 50.9 million, but Bush, in an unprecedented level of margin, won Florida by 537 votes, a margin of 0.009%, which triggered a recount, but the U.S. Supreme Court in a 5-4 decision halted the recount, so Bush defeated Al Gore 271 to 266. Number 45, 5 presidents were born in August. 23rd President Benjamin Harrison, 31st President Herbert Hoover, 36th President Lyndon B. Johnson, 42nd President Bill Clinton, or 44th President Barack Obama. Number 46, 46th President Joe Biden is the oldest elected president at 70 years, 61 days old at his inauguration. Number 47, Joe Biden was born closer to the second inauguration of Abraham Lincoln in 1865 than he was his own in 2021. Number 48, 4 presidents were born in January. 13th President Millard Fillmore, 25th President William McKinley, 32nd President Franklin D. Roosevelt, 37th President Richard Nixon. Number 49, the college with the most presidents is Harvard, with John Adams, John Quincy Adams, Rutherford B. Hayes, Theodore Roosevelt, Franklin D. Roosevelt, JFK, George W. Bush, and Barack Obama. Number 50, 4 presidents were born in March. 4th President James Madison, 7th President Andrew Jackson, 10th President John Tyler, 22nd and 24th President Grover Cleveland. Number 51, John Quincy Adams was the most bilingual president, being fluent in English, French, German, and Latin, and proficient in Dutch, Ancient Greek, Italian, Spanish, and Russian. Number 52, James Madison was the most bilingual president in terms of most fluent languages, being fluent in English, Hebrew, French, Ancient Greek, Italian, and Latin. Number 53, Andrew Jackson won the popular vote 3 times in 1824, 1828, and 1832. Number 54, 15 out of 49 vice presidents have become president. 8 succeeded after a death or resignation, and the other 6 were elected. Number 55, 5 presidents never were elected to public office before becoming president. Zachary Taylor, Ulysses S. Grant, Herbert Hoover, Dwight D. Eisenhower, and Donald Trump. Number 56, 4 presidents have been a father and son. 2nd President John Adams and his son 6th President John Quincy Adams, and 41st President George H.W. Bush and his son 43rd President George W. Bush. Number 57, 3 presidents presidents died on July 4th. Second President John Adams and third President Thomas Jefferson both died on July 4th, 1826, while fifth President James Monroe died on July 4th, 1831. Only 30th President Calvin Coolidge was born on July 4th, in 1872. Number 58, Donald Trump has received more votes than anyone in history, with 137 million in 2 elections. Number 59, in 2016, the candidate who won the popular vote lost. Donald Trump won 62.9 million popular votes compared to Hillary Clinton's 65.8 million, but he won 304 electoral votes compared to Clinton's 227, making him president. By the way, if you want historic American paintings, you can go to my store where I am doing a 10% off sale. Number 60, history will be made in this 2024 election. Specifically, if Kamala wins, she will become the second black president and the first female president. If Trump wins, it will be the second time a president has served non-consecutive terms.